Last week, the Taiwan International Religious Freedom Forum took place in Taipei, where officials, dignitaries, lawmakers, and faith leaders from around the world gathered to confront and expose religious persecution throughout the world. You know, this was something that the United States was taking the lead on during the Trump administration, but it's fallen to the wayside. You know, and you think about the locations for this meeting last week, I can't think of a better place to hold this forum than on the island of Taiwan under the shadow of the Chinese Communist Party, as they are boldly standing for religious freedom and for freedom of all people. In fact, the president of the parliament there gave me an award for being sanctioned by the Chinese, and I was unable to make it to Taiwan, but we sent someone who was much more capable of dealing with the issue of international religious freedom, the director of our Center for Religious Liberty here at the Family Research Council, Arielle Del Turco. Arielle, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So if you fall asleep, I'll know it's jet lag.
Just that.
Well, give us a quick interview of, number one, or an overview, the purpose of the forum and the outcome.
Yeah, well, the purpose was to gather leaders on this issue and politicians who want to advance the cause of religious freedom. And it's such an important region because Asia is sadly a bit of a hotbed for persecution. You've got China, you've got North Korea, you've got Burma, you've got other places that are really struggling, and Christians and others who are struggling there. So it was gathered there, but you were exactly right. It was in a free country, the country of Taiwan, which has really taken up this issue of religious freedom, and they are eager to be champions on this. And it's a very unique setting because it's in a Chinese-speaking country, very close to China, an island not very far away, and yet it's so very different, and it's really a model of how countries can embrace religious freedom, can embrace political freedoms. Only 30 years ago, this country was under martial law. So it's really a model for the rest of Asia.
How many different countries were represented there?
Oh, dozens of countries across Asia and also across the world. We had representatives from Africa telling their story, talking about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria and elsewhere. We had representatives from North Korea, from Europe.
So, Arielle, answer this question. You know, some would say, well, you know, I know your Family Research Council, you're focused on policy in the United States, and I know you work on religious freedom because that obviously is important. Why would you go to Taiwan?
Yeah, well, the United States actually has an outsized impact. What happens here matters, but also our foreign policy has a great impact around the world, and that's for good or bad. So as Christians who care about government, we need to be focused on making sure that our foreign policy is upholding godly values, upholding American values like religious freedom, and exporting that around the world. And sadly, this is totally diminished under the Biden administration. It has long-standing.
And what happens internationally when you build allies, like being there and we've already seen this with Taiwan, we're building allies there so that, like in the United Nations, we're not crazy about these global forums, but we know that there are outcomes there. And so we want to build these alliances to advocate for religious freedom or sanctity of human life. And in the absence of an administration that does that, we have to have voices of other countries. And we are kind of, in many ways, conducting a choir.
You're right. When the Biden administration is failing, it's really on activists, it's on other countries to pick up the torch, to carry the torch for religious freedom. And Taiwan is happy to do that. And so it's great for FRC to be able to go over there, to support them, to affirm them in that leadership on this issue.
So very quickly, what were some of the outcomes?
One of the outcomes is just connecting politicians there with activists from around the world. I think they were very inspired. They're very ready to take action. And so are many of the activists. We shared ideas on what we can advocate for. And I think there's going to be great outcomes from this event.
So did you enjoy the food?
Oh, it was great.
I bet you made, Travis, who's frequently on the program, he loves to try new food. So he's probably jealous that he didn't get food. Did you bring anything back in your suitcase for him?
No food, sadly. I don't think it was allowed, but I'm sure he's disappointed.
Well, welcome back. Thanks for going. Appreciate you representing FRC.
Thank you.